Hello and welcome to another Do You Remember? This is an ongoing video series where every week I read a Wikipedia article very quickly and then I do my best to record myself remembering everything I can about that video. We are getting towards the end of the year here. This is one of the last 3 videos in this series, so go take a look in the playlist and see if there's something there that piques your interest and you want to check out. I've got 2 Christmas themed ones here today and the next week, and then one final wrap up one, which you probably can guess, but don't spoil it for other people that may not have thought about it. Anyway, I have to read this list name before I can talk about it. Actually, my mic is hot, and I'm not going to redo this, so I'm turning my mic down a notch. There we go. List of Christmas and winter gift bringers by country. That's what we're doing here. We'll look more at this chart, which is just looking at Europe, but this is an international list of countries. Specifically, gift bringers. That is the thing with this list. It is not just your folklore, your whatever of the end of the year. Father Time is not on the list. Father Time doesn't bring you stuff, so no. Now, our main categories are going to be the Christ child, Christ God, Jesus, whatever. That's there. That's going to be on the list. That's a popular one. Your 3 kings. Sometimes those kings are more than 3. Sometimes they are not kings. But the group of travelers from your land who are going around giving people presents. That's there. And then the biggest one is Old Man. Your Father Christmas, Kris Kringle, Santa Claus, Saint Nick, there's another saint that I can't remember the name of. You get it. Sometimes they're not Christmas Day. Sometimes they're December 1st. 3 Kings are Epiphany, so it's January 6th. A lot of visitors that way. But that's basically it. Everything can be redeemed for the Son of God, an old man, or a group, which also includes a gnome, if you're in Sweden, or if you're in Finland, a goat. If you're in Iceland, it's the Yule Lads, which is just like a lot of folklore, really like just compiled and put together in a fun way. And actually, that's the last I'm going to talk about Yule Lads on this video, because there's a whole section about them on Wikipedia, and that'll be next week's video, is me talking about the Yule Lads, because they get their own separate Do You Remember, because there's a lot about it. We can look at this map, which is just about Europe here, while I remember other facts of what's going on here. Sorry, let me big in that. You got Christmas Man. That's great. We're going to talk about Christmas Man in a moment, because there are a bunch of places that literally transition to Christmas Man or Old Man, Father Christmas. This is just, obviously, you got Christmas Lads there, the Yule Lads. This is just Europe alone. But yeah, an old man that gives you stuff is certainly the most popular. We got to talk about the Netherlands, because they have Christman, which is basically just Christmas Man. And Christmas Man is great. We love Christmas Man here. But they also have Sinterklaas. And Sinterklaas is in a bunch of different countries. But Sinterklaas, specifically in the Netherlands, your Dutch traditions, has baggage. Lots of baggage. And this is the best video for me to dunk on the Netherlands for this. Because you got Black Pete, Zwart Piet. My pronunciation of Dutch is not good, so I will just say Sinterklaas, and then I will say Black Pete from now on. Black Pete is a problem. At best, Black Pete is a slave from Africa. That's the best case scenario, is depicted in fiction that is a slave who is Santa's helper. Now, they will tell you, and by they I mean racists, will tell you, actually, Black Pete, it's not that he's a black person, is that because of the chimneys, Santa's helper is come down the chimney and is just covered in soot, which apparently does not affect Santa Claus. It only affects Pete. And Pete is therefore not black. He is just covered in black soot. And how do you recreate that, you might ask yourself, knowing the fucking answer? Well, you get yourself a white dude and you put blackface on him, and then you got Black Pete. So that happens if you're ever in the Netherlands at Christmas time, and you're like, "Hey, what the fuck? There's blackface here." That's Black Pete, Zwart Pete. Again, I'm mispronouncing Zwart. I know. I'm sure I am. Anyway, but like Christmas Man is just good. Old Grandfather Frost, Old Man Christmas, all that stuff. This list is like alphabetical, and it's like lots of goddamn countries. I'm trying to remember other facts. I mean, really, it was just like, oh, the big thing I want to point out here is Coca-Cola's kind of like popularizing of a particular vein of what Father Christmas, Santa Claus can look like really has influenced a lot of people. But in general, the idea of Santa Claus, Sinterklaas, really has taken root with lots of countries and kind of overridden their own traditions. And so I respect the ones that are just like, a goat brings you gifts. It's a bunch of little guys. Or even if you're just like three dudes just drove it by and left some presents. Or hey, you're Martin Luther branch of Christianity, and you're just like, the baby Jesus brings us things at Christmas to celebrate his birth. It's his birthday, but we all get presents. I'm probably a little too loud, so I'm turning myself down a little bit more. I'm not redoing this video. And again, it takes place all over December. I'm trying to remember if there were any other ones that like really piqued my interest. But it's mostly just old men. And like I said, for some reason, Finland doesn't even really go with Santa Claus. They just focus on the goat. We're going to look at that again. This is the European countries here. And the like. I don't remember who has Starman, but I believe Starman is more of the religious bent. But Christmas goat's there. There's Christmas goat. That's a thing that exists in beliefs. I know that Japan is like, Japan is one of those countries that's like, Santa wasn't part of our thing, but we respect and appreciate Santa. Because Japan as a culture was just like, Christmas, sure, I guess. It seems television movies tell us that this is popular, so let's get in on it. And it was mostly a young people thing, like wanting to be cool with their like college friends who were from other countries. And then it just kind of stuck. It seems like Christmas is a thing for young people in Japan. Don't quote me on that. That is my general belief. Where they're just like, yeah, we get it. But like little kids aren't like, when's Santa coming? But older kids are like, Christmas, we're in. I'm trying to remember if there was anyone. There's a country that has like Snow Grandpa, and I can't remember what literal translation. Obviously, I can't remember what country that is. And so I don't want to guess, but there is a country that has Snow Grandpa. Grandfather Frost, Father Frost, as I mentioned. Sinterklaas, Saint Nick, Saint Nicholas, Santa, all those. Those are the big ones. Anyway, in the show description below is the link, and you can be like, Pat, I can't believe you didn't talk about how there are a couple countries that make that basically combine because they're not Christian countries, they combine the Jesus beliefs with Santa, and so there is a young man that gives gifts, and I can't believe you didn't talk about that. I did. I don't remember what countries that is, but it's there. But if you want to know what countries believe in the baby Jesus bringing gifts, and what countries believe in three guys doing the thing, you can find the list in the show description below, and you can let me know what I missed from there, and if I got anything wrong. If you know the correct way to pronounce the Dutch names that I said here, you can let me know as well, and I would appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching this video. Again, I have 2 more of these coming up, so I do not need suggestions of my next ones, because I'm going to be talking about the Yule Lads next week, and then the following week we'll close things down on this project. And now I'll start teasing next year's project. It'll start in January, first Wednesday of January, because this is a every Wednesday project. It will involve 0 research. It will involve memorization, and it will probably drive me a little batty. And that's all I'll say about that. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.